Hello, and welcome to Historical Humans Reads, where we take primary sources and bring them to your screen. I'm Colum Coleman, and today we are reading from a satire, one which, when first published in 1968, was proclaimed a major cultural assault on the assumed norms of gender and sexuality. It is, of course, Myra Breckinridge by Gore Vidal. As the first major fictional character to undergo a clinical sex change, Myra is fearless, unabashed, and provocative, demanding acceptance while she struggles to take over her uncle's LA acting studio. Today, we will be reading from the opening pages of Myra Breckinridge by Gore Vidal. With that, let's begin. I am Myra Breckinridge, whom no man will ever possess. Clad only in garter belt and one dress shield, I held off the entire elite of the Trobriand Islanders, a race who possess no words for why or because. Wielding a stone axe, I broke the arms, the limbs, the balls of their finest warriors, my beauty blinding them, as it does all men, unmanning them in the way that King Kong was reduced to a mere simian whimper by beauteous Fay Ray, whom I resemble left three-quarter profile, if the key light is no more than 5 feet high during the close shot. The novel being dead, there is no point to writing made-up stories. Look at the French who will not, and the Americans who cannot. Look at me who ought not, if only because I exist entirely outside of the usual human experience. Outside and yet wholly relevant, for I am the new woman, whose astonishing history is a poignant amalgam of vulgar dreams and knife-sharp realities. Shall I ever be free of the dull, lingering pain that is my peculiar glory? The price so joyously paid for being Myra Breckinridge, whom no man may possess except on my terms. Yet, not even I can create a fictional character as one-dimensional as the average reader. Nevertheless, I intend to create a literary masterpiece in much the same way that I created myself. And for much the same reason, because it is not there. And I shall accomplish this by presenting you, the reader, as well as Dr. Randolph Spencer Montaigne, my analyst, friend, and dentist, who has proposed that I write in this notebook as therapy, with an exact, literal sense of what it is like from moment to moment to be me, and what it is like to possess superbly shaped breasts reminiscent of those sported by Jean Harlow in Hell's Angels and seen at their best 4 minutes after the start of the second reel. What it is like to possess perfect thighs with hips resembling that archetypal mandolin from which the male principal draws forth music with prick of flesh so akin in its metaphor to pick of celluloid, blessed celluloid, upon which have been imprinted in our century all the dreams and shadows that have haunted the human race since man's harsh and turbulent origins, quote Levi-Strauss. Myra Breckinridge is a dish, and never forget it, you motherfuckers, as the children now say. I shall not begin at the beginning, since there is no beginning, only a middle into which you, fortunate reader, have just strayed. Still uncertain as to what will be done to you in the course of our common voyage to my interior, no, our interior, for we are, at least, in the act of this creation as one, each trapped in time. You later, I now, carefully, thoughtfully forming letters to make words, to make sentences. I shall begin by putting my cards on the table. At this moment, writing the word moment, I am not the same Myra Breckinridge who was the scourge of the Trobriand Islanders. She is a creature of fantasy, a daydream, reveling the feminine principle's need to regain once more that primacy she lost at the time of the Bronze Age, when the cock-worshipping Dorians enslaved the West, impiously replacing the goddess with a god. Happily, his days are nearly over. The phallus cracks, the uterus opens, and I am at last ready to begin my mission, which is to recreate the sexes and thus save the human race from certain extinction. Meanwhile, I live no longer in the usual world. I have forsaken the familiar. And soon, by an extreme gesture, I shall cease altogether to be human and become legend, like Jesus, Buddha, Cybele. This has been an excerpt from Myra Breckinridge on Historical Humans Reads. If you enjoyed this video and would like to hear more excerpts from original texts, please subscribe to be notified of the next one. If there is a work you would like to hear, be sure to like the video and leave a comment listing it below. As always, thanks for listening.